Namaste, my fellow seekers of knowledge. I am Archana Raghuram and welcome back to my channel Temples, Books and Science. If you are new here, I invite you to subscribe and press the bell icon for notifications so that you don't miss any videos that I post. Now, let's continue our exploration of the Lalita Sahasranamam. In our previous episode, we traced the powerful ascent of the Kundalini Shakti through the chakras, culminating in its union with Shiva in the Sahasrara chakra and the blissful downpour of the nectar of immortality. Now we move to the 107th name, Tāṭillatā-samarucī. This name beautifully translates to she whose brilliance is like that of a streak of lightning. This brilliance, likened to lightning, signifies the immediate and transformative impact of the awakened Kundalini's power. Just as the lightning appears suddenly and instantly illuminates the landscape, the goddess's effulgence at this stage transforms the inner consciousness of the devotees, dispelling the darkness of ignorance and revealing the underlying non-dual reality. It symbolizes the nature of ultimate spiritual realization, an experience that is often described as sudden, overwhelmingly powerful, intensely illuminating, beautiful, and revealing the inherent oneness of existence. Just as a lightning flash dispels the physical darkness in an instant, the awakening to one's true nature as Brahman instantaneously dispels the darkness of spiritual ignorance or avidya and pierces through the veil of Maya, illuminating the truth that was always present but obscured by ignorance. This name also points to the direct experience of the goddess as the fundamental energy, Shakti of the universe. An energy that is inherently luminous, immensely powerful, instantaneous in its manifestation, and pervades all of existence. This brilliance further underscores the self-luminous nature of consciousness itself, what we call Swayam Prakashatvam. Like the sun, the Atma or Brahman doesn't require an external source to be known. It is inherently self-illuminating. Ultimately, Tāṭillatā-samarucī reveals Lalita Devi not just as a deity of static beauty, but as the effulgent dynamic power of reality itself, the flash of illuminating grace that awakens the soul to its true non-dual nature at the very apex of spiritual ascent, the culmination of the Kundalini's upward journey. This brilliant dynamic event, the flash of lightning that symbolizes the awakened Kundalini's radiance, sets the stage perfectly for the next name, the 108th in the Lalita Sahasranamam, Ṣaṭ-cakropari-saṃsthitā, which translates to she who is firmly situated or resides above the 6 chakras. The name marks the successful completion of Kundalini Shakti's journey upwards through the 6 chakras, Mooladhara to Ajna, and the 3 Granthis, Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, located along the Shushumna Nadi. The phrase Upari or above the 6 chakras directly points to the Sahasrara chakra, the magnificent 1,000-petaled lotus at the crown of the head. This is the ultimate destination of the awakened Kundalini. Furthermore, the term Saṃsthitā, firmly established, implies that this isn't just a fleeting passage. Rather, it signifies a stable and established residence of Shakti in the Sahasrara, indicating her profound union with Shiva. However, the significance of Upari or above in the Ṣaṭ-cakropari-saṃsthitā extends beyond mere spatial location. While the Sahasrara is indeed anatomically above the Ajna chakra, its deeper symbolic meaning lies in transcendence. As we have explored, each of the 6 chakras is associated with specific elements, functions, psychological states, and inherent limitations within the manifested dualistic world. To be situated above the 6 chakras implies having successfully navigated, integrated, and ultimately surpassed the domains governed by these chakras. It signifies moving beyond the conditionings, the inherent dualities we experience, like pleasure and pain, subject and object, and the identifications we hold with the physical body, the prana, emotions, mind, and intellect, all of which are mapped onto these 6 chakras. This transcendence marks the entry into a state of awareness that is no longer dependent on the ordinary sensory and mental faculties governed by the lower chakras. It is the realm of pure, unmediated consciousness. Therefore, Ṣaṭ-cakropari-saṃsthitā symbolizes the pinnacle state achieved through Kundalini Yoga. It represents the fully awakened Kundalini Shakti, having pierced all 6 chakras and 3 granthis, now residing stably, saṃsthitā, in the Sahasrara chakra. The goddess described by this name embodies the ultimate state of realized consciousness. It is this state of consciousness that is described as Turiya in Advaita Vedanta. Turiya, literally meaning the fourth, is the transcendental state of pure consciousness that underlies and witnesses the 3 ordinary states of waking, dreaming, and deep sleep, Jagrat, Swapna, Shushupti Avastha. It is a state of pure, objectless awareness, the fundamental nature of Atma and Brahman, entirely free from the modifications and limitations of the mind and senses. Thus, Ṣaṭ-cakropari-saṃsthitā points to the goddess embodying this ultimate unwavering state of pure witnessing consciousness. This name marks the pivotal point where the manifest power, Shakti, which is Saguna with attributes, fully realizes its inherent identity with the unmanifest consciousness, Shiva, who is Nirguna without attributes. To be established above the 6 chakras is to dwell in the state of pure Satchidananda, which is the ultimate goal of Vedantic inquiry and yogic practice. This name also carries another subtle and beautiful implication. Within the Sri Vidya tradition, Lalita Tripura is understood not merely as a deity, but as the supreme reality, Parashakti, the ultimate source, the very substance, and the intelligent controller of the entire cosmos. The universe, including the microcosm of the human body, is perceived as her manifestation, her divine play, her Leela. In this context, the name Ṣaṭ-cakropari-saṃsthitā crucially emphasizes her transcendent nature. While she pervades and animates the 6 chakras, she is not limited or defined by them. She is the very energy that traverses the path as Kundalini and ascends the Sahasrara. But ultimately, she is the absolute reality that exists beyond all forms of manifestations. This name thus captures the paradox of the goddess being simultaneously the entire cosmos and yet completely beyond it. Following the profound declaration of Ṣaṭ-cakropari-saṃsthitā, the Sahasranamam immediately offers further illumination about the nature of this transcendent entity with the 109th name, Mahāśaktiḥ. There are 2 ways in which this name is pronounced. Mahāśaktiḥ with a Sha, meaning she who is the great power, and the more prevalent Mahāśaktiḥ with a Sa, which carries 2 meanings. It means the one who revels in the oneness with Shiva, and it also means the supreme power whose influence is all-pervasive or spread everywhere. The name Mahāśaktiḥ operates on multiple levels simultaneously. It points to the pinnacle of inner spiritual experience, the blissful union achieved through Kundalini Yoga, while simultaneously defining her fundamental nature as the ultimate all-encompassing power. This dual meaning elegantly integrates the microcosm, the yogi's inner journey, with the macrocosm, the nature of ultimate reality. This name clarifies that the transcendent state described by the name Ṣaṭ-cakropari-saṃsthitā, Being situated above the six chakras is not a state of emptiness, void, or mere cessation. Instead, it is the realm of ultimate potency, vibrant dynamism, and boundless energy. Mahāśaktiḥ directly identifies the luminous phenomenon described as Tāṭillatā-samarucī, lightning-like brilliance, as the supreme energy itself. The use of Maha emphatically signifies that this is not simply one power among many, but the ultimate foundational and supreme power that underlies all of existence. The apparent simplicity of its literal translation belies the immense philosophical depth contained within this single word. While other names might delineate specific roles or attributes of the goddess, Mahāśaktiḥ points to the very essence of her being as great power, the fundamental reality from which all manifestations arise. Mahāśaktiḥ represents the primordial, undifferentiated cosmic energy, often referred to as Adi Parashakti. She is the unmanifest potential from which all specific forms of energy, the creative force of Brahma, the sustaining power of Vishnu, the dissolving energy of Rudra emerge. She is the singular source, the great power that precedes and underpins all particularized powers and manifestations. She is not a distant, localized deity, but the very fabric of energy and power that constitutes and permeates the entire cosmos. She is the vibrating energy, the spandana within all things. Mahāśaktiḥ therefore symbolizes the paradoxical yet profound nature of the goddess. She is simultaneously the transcendent ultimate source beyond all manifestations and the pervading dynamic energy that pulsates within every atom of creation. This represents power not in the limited sense of control or domination, but as the fundamental generative capacity for existence, consciousness, action, and transformation. It is through this Mahāśaktiḥ that the attributeless Nirguna Brahman appears as Saguna Brahman, Brahman with attributes, and as Ishvara, the intelligent and material cause of the universe, the Nimitta and Upadana Karanam. Mahāśaktiḥ embodies the dynamic potential within Brahman that allows it to undertake the cosmic functions of creation, sustenance, and dissolution without itself undergoing any modifications. I want to make an important point here. Mahāśaktiḥ and Maya are closely related concepts in Advaita, both referring to the power through which Brahman manifests the world. However, Mahāśaktiḥ often carries a more positive connotation, emphasizing the inherent real power of Brahman, while Maya frequently highlights the illusionary or veiling aspect of this power, the Tirodhana aspect of Shakti, which makes the world appear as separate and substantial, thus causing bondage through ignorance. Mahāśaktiḥ can be seen as the foundational power that enables the play of Maya. Significantly, the sequence immediately continues by grounding this supreme power, this Mahāśaktiḥ, back into the context of the individual practitioner with the 110th name, Kuṇḍalinī, meaning the coiled one. The name Kuṇḍalinī derives from the Sanskrit noun Kuṇḍala, which signifies a ring or coil. Therefore, the literal meaning of Kuṇḍalinī is the coiled one, or she who possesses coils or rings. This vividly describes the Kuṇḍalinī as a serpent coiled 3.5 times, residing in a dormant state at the base of the spine within the Mūladhara chakra, a primary residence we explored in detail in the 99th name, Mūladharaika Nilaya. The very structure of Mūladhara chakra is intimately connected to Kuṇḍalinī. It is often depicted as a downward pointing red triangle, symbolizing the confluence of three primary Shaktis: Ichcha Shakti, the power of will or desire; Jnana Shakti, the power of knowledge; and Kriya Shakti, the power of action. It is from this foundational base that the primordial sound Om, composed of three sounds A, U and is said to originate. This potent energy of Kundalini can be purified and directed through the cultivation of jnana, spiritual knowledge, and regulation of prana, life force. That is why jnanam and yoga are both essential to this process. The most prominent symbol associated with Kundalini is the coiled serpent. This imagery is rich with meaning. The coil itself signifies the potential energy stored at the base within the Mooladhara chakra. The 3.5 coils represent the three gunas: sattva, balance, rajas, activity, and tamas, inertia. And the half coil signifies the possibility of transcendence beyond these qualities of Maya. Across various cultures of the world, the serpent is a potent symbol of power, transformation, primal energy, and hidden wisdom, all of which resonate with the nature of Kundalini. Fundamentally, Kundalini represents the direct link, the microcosmic manifestation of the macrocosmic divine power, Mahāśaktiḥ. Kundalini is the prana shakti, the essential life force that animates all living beings, the vital energy that sustains the body, regulates its functions, and is the very source of its warmth. This profound truth signifies that the immense power that creates and sustains the entire universe is also present in potential form within each and every one of us. It embodies the dormant capacity for spiritual awakening and the ultimate enlightenment. Thus, following immediately after the description of Mahāśaktiḥ, the supreme power, the name Kundalini beautifully pinpoints where and how this great power resides within each of us, as the coiled dormant serpent energy located in the Mooladhara chakra. It establishes Kundalini as the ever-present potential energy that serves as the crucial starting point for the inner spiritual journey towards realizing our inherent oneness with that very Mahāśaktiḥ. Finally, the 111th name in the Lalita Sahasranamam is Bisatantu-taniyasi, which translates to she who is as thin, slender or subtle as the fiber of a lotus stalk. This name vividly describes the extreme subtlety and refined nature of the awakened Kundalini. The image of the lotus fiber, Bisatantu, is significant in Indian thought and poetry, renowned for its exceptional fineness and delicacy. It's often used as a metaphor for ultimate subtlety. By describing the goddess as Taniyasi, even more subtle than this already subtle entity, the name indicates that she is beyond ordinary comparison, pointing towards a level of subtlety that's almost inconceivable. This linguistic choice guides us to understand the goddess's nature as the ultimate substratum, the finest, most pervasive, yet barely perceptible power underlying all existence. Think of the lotus stalk growing from the mud through the water to become a beautiful flower reaching the light. This natural process of rising through different stages using a thin connection offers a beautiful way to understand how our spiritual energy, the Kundalini, awakens and travels upwards in our body during Kundalini Yoga, ultimately reaching enlightenment. Just as a lotus stalk emerges from the mud at its base, passes through the watery midsection and culminates in the blossom at the top, our Kundalini energy ascends from its root at the Mooladhara, linked to the earth element or Prithvi Tattvam, through a slender central channel within our body known as the Shushumna Nadi, all the way up to the Sahasrara, the 1,000-petal lotus at the crown of our head. Ultimately, this name Bisatantu-taniyasi reveals her profound subtlety. As the supreme reality and Parashakti, she permeates all existence, yet remains finer than the finest conceivable material element, often elusive to gross perception. This aligns with the description of Brahman as formless, Nirakara, attributeless, Nirguna, and beyond thought, Achintya Rupa, even while paradoxically manifesting in infinite forms. Her subtlety signifies her fundamental role as the underlying substratum of reality, the unseen thread upon which the intricate tapestry of the cosmos is woven. Bisatantu-taniyasi presents a compelling paradox. The ultimate source of all power, Mahāśaktiḥ, is characterized by its supreme subtlety. This challenges conventional notions of power, often associated with magnitude, force, or overt display. The name suggests that true divine power lies precisely in its subtlety, its pervasive and almost imperceptible nature. Like the fundamental forces governing the universe, the goddess's power operates at the finest, most foundational levels of existence. The sequence of names from 109 to 111, Mahāśaktiḥ, Kuṇḍalinī, and now Bisatantu-taniyasi, reveals a deliberate and logical progression in describing this aspect of the goddess. Mahāśaktiḥ establishes her as the supreme power. Kuṇḍalinī identifies this power's specific, latent, coiled form within the individual. And Bisatantu-taniyasi now describes the exquisite subtlety of this power when awakened and ascending. With this name, we have reached an important milestone in the Lalita Sahasranamam. The first 111 names, starting from Sri Mata and ending in Bisatantu-taniyasi, are traditionally considered the Moola Grantha, the root or foundational text of this sacred hymn. This section stands apart from the remaining 889 names, which are often referred to as Vivarana Grantha or Vyakhyana Grantha, the elaborative or explanatory portions of the Sahasranamam. This foundational Moola Grantha, comprising of the first 111 names and culminating in the exquisitely subtle Bisatantu-taniyasi, meticulously unveils the multifaceted nature of Lalita Tripura through a structured progression. The initial three names, Sri Mata, Sri Maharagni, and Srimad Simhasaneshwari, powerfully establish Goddess Lalita's supreme status and fundamental nature, her Tattvam. Following this, the next three names, Chidagnikunda-sambhuta, Devakari-samudyata, and Udyadbhanu Sahasrabha, clearly and sequentially describe her purposeful divine emergence. The subsequent sections, starting from Chaturbahu Samanvita to Swadhina Vallabha, names 7 to 54, is the Swarupa Varnanam. This part of the hymn gives us a thorough word-by-word description of the goddess's beautiful divine form. It follows a traditional poetic structure called Keshadi Padam. Think of it like a detailed portrait painted with words, starting from her Kesha, hair, and going all the way down to her Padam, feet. It's a systematic top-to-down depiction of her physical appearance as envisioned by the rishis. This provides a vivid image for meditation, dhyanam, and devotion, serving as a concrete representation of Saguna Brahman. It is a description laden with a profound philosophical and tantric significance. The names 55 to 61 then delineate her place of residence, her celestial and symbolic abodes. Sumeru Madhya Shringastha Srimannagara Nayika Chintamani Grihantastha Panchabrahmasanasthita Mahapadmatavi Samstha Kadamba Vanavasani and Sudha Sagara Madhyastha. Collectively, these names anchor her divine form within the highest conceptual and symbolic frameworks of Shaktism and Sri Vidya. The next set of names, 62 to 84, Kamakshi to Haranetragni Sandagda Kamasanjeeva Naushadihi, describes her Leela, her divine play and manifest power through the significant episode of the Bandasura Samhara Leela. This section primarily depicts her gross form, her Sthula Swarupam. The focus then transitions to her subtler dimensions, with names 85 to 89, revealing her mantra swarupam, her form as sacred sound, her sukshma form. Srimad Vagbhava Kotaika Swarupa Mukha Pankaja Kantada Katiparyanta Madhyakuta Swarupini Shakti Kotaika Tapanna Katyado Bhagadarini Mula Mantratmika Mula Kotatraya Kalebara. Finally, the Moola Grantha culminates with names 90 to 111, from Kulamritaika Rasika to Bisatantu Taniyasi, which unveils her subtlest form as the Kundalini Shakti, the coiled, dormant energy that is the key to inner awakening, her Sukshmatama form, or the subtlest of the subtle reality. With these 111 names, the comprehensive description of the goddess's being, from her supreme nature to her subtlest energetic form within the individual, is complete. The remaining 889 names of the Lalita Sahasranamam are called the Vivarana Grantha or Vyakhyana Grantha. They serve to elaborate and build upon this foundational understanding, exploring her countless attributes, powers, and the diverse paths to connect with her. Understanding this foundational section is crucial for unlocking the deeper philosophical and devotional treasures contained within the remaining verses of this revered hymn. I have covered these names in details across 17 videos in my series Lalita Sahasranamam Explained, and I invite you to delve deeper into this detailed explanation by clicking the link provided below. For those seeking a more concise name-by-name approach, I have also created a series of shorter videos titled Lalita Sahasranamam in Bites, where each video focuses on an individual name. You can find that series linked in the description as well. Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery through these sacred names. Next week, we embark on a new phase of our exploration within the Lalita Sahasranamam, and I look forward to continuing to unpack its wisdom with you. May the grace of the goddess Lalita Tripurasundari guide you on your own path of self-discovery and transformation. Om Shri Matre Namaha. Namaste.